Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a double Dogo team here from Neko Paradise. You're a legend with this one. And also, of course, our Zamazenta is still, I think, missing 2 power-ups. So like we are only having a level 49 Zamazenta. Should have got a few more raids in, but it's going to be fighted today. We're going to have a legend team here with 2 dogs, Zacian, where I'm not too sure about the moveset. I just went for whatever I felt like would make the most amount of sense. Why do we have Snarl over Quick Attack? Main reason for this. Why do we go for Wild Charge here? I have no idea. I just misclicked. Doesn't matter, because what I actually did here just now is trick the opponent and no shield in the first move, so we can knock them out with a close combat, which otherwise would have not done enough damage, so that's great. But yeah, basically, I just thought that Snarl would make the most amount of sense in order to have something at least that's a little bit better against the Necrozma. Necrozma is like kind of the Pokemon that I'm kind of worried about. Having the Steel and Psychic typing, it's kind of resisting all the fast moves otherwise, and I didn't really want this to be happening. And so, yeah, we're going to have, you know, the Zamazenta against the Giratina. We have super effective coverage, but they stop out into the Rhyperior, which you can hit with a close combat here. They didn't expect it at all. We can go for the full farm down here with the Dialga, and this is going to be a good game because we have 3 Pokemon left and the opponent just decides to forfeit. Next up, we're going to have here Zacian and Rhyperior. We're going to have access to the close combat. It's a little bit awkward here. While having a 3-turn fast move, it's going to basically have a very bad timing for us because we always give the opponent a free fast move, which in this case, Mudslap is doing quite a lot of damage. It's a bit annoying for that one. You're a little bit better off with Quick Attack there, even though, of course, yeah, Quick Attack would be resisted. I still think it would have been the better move. Here we're going to see the Yveltal coming in though, and we see already how much damage we do with the Zamazenta, and we decide to actually use a shield against the Oblivion Wing, because now we can go for the crunch, and I hope for a shield and I hope for a debuff. Let's see what we're going to get. We don't get a shield, but we do get the... No, we don't get the debuff either. No, we actually got the debuff. I just didn't see it correctly there. And we can go for the full farm down. Having a ton of energy now allows us to go for a close combat against the opponent's Kyogre as well, which is going to allow us to get the shield, and we can go for the, yeah, KO, I guess, against us, but we're still going to have our Dialga against the Kyogre, and we still have Wild Charge on our Zacian. So this is looking really, really good for us. The opponent is going to still try its best, but I don't think this is going to work out at all for them. We have here the Roar of Time going to come through very, very soon. It's going to be a Thunder variant. Oh, no, it's a Surf variant here from the opponent. I thought it was a Thunder coming through, or just a Surf, which is even less. And the Roar of Time is going to get the shield. We can go for the Wild Charge, win the battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. Let's see who is going to be next here. We're going to have the Ho-Oh, and this is also one of the reasons why you have Wild Charge on the lead, because otherwise this Pokemon is going to be a bit more annoying. But again here, a Quick Attack would have been a bit better. It's going to generate energy a little bit less frequently, but the issue here with Snarl is that it's quite awkward to pace with it. But as we'll see here, we're going to still get 2 Wild Charges off against the opponent, while this looks like a CMP tie, which is going to be great because we're just going to let the move go through. And we're going to get, with that, a big energy advantage on our Dialga. While we have to use a shield, the energy advantage is going to be very important because Dialga, like, that's the thing as well with this Pokemon, next to nothing can really take a Roar of Time off this thing, so we're going to be in a very solid spot. They get the attack drop, but at the end of the day, we can always swap out. Like we see here, we have the Ice Wing coming through. We're going to do some nice super effective damage, but they have the Primarina. And Primarina is a Pokemon that are sadly encountered quite often. If you take a look at the fast moves, this is the Pokemon that completely hardwalls any of my fast moves. So I have completely no pressure against this Pokemon, which is really awkward. I'm forced to use a shield here. It's going to be Disarming Voice. Sadly, not the Moonblast. Moonblast would take a little bit more energy. But yeah, at this point, I can have to go for the full Iron Head down. Yeah, like a farm down actually, but the opponent decides to... Let's see here. What did they do? They decided to let the move go through. I don't think there's a way of us winning this battle. No, there's not. And the opponent's sadly going to win this one. So yeah, Primarina is going to be a bit of a trickier Pokemon for us here to deal with. Zacian against Zacian. We have Quick Attack against the Snarl. Snarl generates energy a bit faster than Quick Attack. Quick Attack does a little bit more damage. It's a very neutral matchup. Like, that's the thing as well. Here, I rather decide to swap out though, trying to catch a move. It is not going to be able to catch the move here, the Zamazenta, but we can still use a shield just in case. With us now, we know that they don't want Play Rough. They're running the Wild Charge and Close Combat, which is good to know. They're going to go into their own Zamazenta. And at this point, I was questioning the opponent's team, because we have Zacian in the lead, and we have Zamazenta as a safe swap. So, what is the chance here that the opponent is going to have a Dialga Origin form in the back? I'm not too sure, But I feel like we're going to figure that one out quite soon, because I'm gonna let the move go through. Oh, never mind. I'm actually gonna use a shield here. I'm gonna keep the energy there, and I can try to catch a move onto my Zacian, which is gonna be able to take a close combat. And they sub onto their own Zacian. I still think I should be able to survive a wild charge here from them. It is going to be a wild charge coming through. We can still go for our own wild charge and knock them out. If we just went straight for our wild charge, would have been of course a little bit better. But I didn't know what the opponent wanted to do there at this position. And they're going to reveal that they're going to have in the bag the Zamazenta again. And this is going to be basically very important for us that we're going to play it out like this. We need to get an energy advantage on our Dialga. And basically at this point we are winning no matter what, because what the opponent has to do here now, they have to kind of knock out our Zamazenta. They don't have energy on their own Zamazenta, but if they would have swapped out, I would have got to a close combat with my Zamazenta against the opponent's Dialga. So there was no way for them really to win at this point anymore because of the energy they had on Dialga. I pressured them too much, and we're going to be able to knock them out. Next up, we're going to have Ho-Oh in the lead, and that is going to be a matchup again where we're going to try to go for some more wild charge damage against the opponent. Let's see on how this is going to go. Wild charge is coming through. We hopefully can still get another fast move off and get another wild charge in afterwards. But let's find out here. Wild charge is going to connect. They're going to use, sadly, yeah, with their charge move here, Sacred Fire. I'm going to drop our own attack, but we can go up a little bit higher again, go for another wild charge. And this is going to be okay. We're going to get the knockout here actually, which is kind of great. And I swap out into the Tapu Bulu. I have Ice Wing here. Of course, we're going to get hit by super effective Nature's Madness damage, which is a little bit annoying. But as we will see here, we're going to have at least some nice fast move pressure, which is great. And we're going to have as well here next the Close Combat coming through. And so, yeah, we're going to have now sadly Enamorso. Enamorus is going to be a Pokemon that it's going to be a bit trickier for us to deal with because our fast move is going to be resisted. And so we are trying to go for an Iron Hand to try to get the shields from them. We still have, of course, two Pokemon that have super effective coverage though, which is great. And that is basically our only way of hopefully still winning here. We have the Fly coming in. We're going to try our best to maybe get to an Iron Head. We have to let the move go through though, because I think I would have been outsped by the opponent. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to see here, go for a shield, go for double wild charge, but I think it's going to be a bit too difficult to win this battle. And as we will see here, we're going to go ahead, go for that wild charge, get the KO against them, but they're still going to have the Tapu Bulu, and they still have another charge move. So, well played, very, very close one though. And so, yeah, good game to the opponent. We're going to move on to the next opponent. Next up, we're going to have here the Giratina in the lead, which is not really ideal for us, especially as our charge moves are not going to do any damage. But I'm just going to let the move go through here, I think at this point. Yep, and swap out into my own other Pokemon, which is going to allow us to do some super effective damage against them. They're going to go into the Xerneas, but we still chunk away a lot of health from them with Ice Fang, and this is the cool thing about Zamazenta. The fast move itself is just so good for this Pokemon that even if we have resisted charge moves, we're still going to have some nice solid damage coming in here the entire time. And as we'll see here, we're gonna still get to another move. I'm gonna go for the crunch here this time around though, because I'm fairly certain that the opponent wants to keep alignment and just use a shield anyway. And we're gonna see the defense drop. I can go for the swap out into the Zacian, go for the close combat to get the shield as well, and swap out into the Giratina. I can go for a wild charge still to try to get them a little bit lower, but we're still in a solid spot because we have now that shield advantage. We don't get to another move, but I can hopefully go for the full farm down here with my Dialga. I would even be able to survive a hit here, but I still decide to use a shield, which maybe was a bit silly because I still have the Xerneas, and I feel like Xerneas still has a charge move stored, so it's going to be a bit of an awkward thing there. But I had to go for a shield anyway, I guess, because they can still gonna go for, yeah, they're still gonna go for another Shadow Ball anyway. So I guess my best play was actually to just sacrifice my Dialga here. I think that was not ideal on how I played it because they're gonna go into the Xerneas anyway and go for another charge move. If I just sacrificed my Dialga and didn't go for a shield, I would have been able to farm them down here with the Zamazenta, and like this I just don't have the shields anymore. I don't know, like I think there was no real way of winning this battle anyway, especially if you got denied like either as well with the fast move, but it is what it is. We can move on to the next opponent. We have Zacian against the Ho-Oh. Again, wild charge it is. I always kind of go for 6 fast moves, yeah, then because then you're gonna end up at like 18 turns, the opponent is at 20 turns, you always lose like 1 fast move with that. But the ideal way would be to go for 8, but this would force you to over farm more energy than you can hold, and that just doesn't make sense. In comes Zygarde. I just used that as an opportunity to get more energy on my Zacian because I know that I double resist the fast move even though I had the debuff on me. And I am going to be able to do super effective, double super effective damage with Ice Fang here from the Zamazenta, which is going to be great because we can even still go for another close combat, do a ton of damage, go for the full farm down here as well as we're going to even be able to go for close combat again against the opponent's Ho-Oh. And this is actually crucial because it's going to force them, like, to put them basically into the range for one wild charge. I can always go for a fast move here as well. It is guaranteed that I get my move in there as well, just free basically then. And we will see that I can go for another wild charge, which should knock out the opponent's Ho-Oh. And this leaves them with one Pokemon, which is going to be the Yveltal. I can even go for another wild charge here. Zacian just showcases on how strong this Pokemon can actually be here. It's going to do so much damage that we can fully farm them down with the Dialga. Only way of losing this one if they have Focus Blast and I no shield here, so I decide to use a shield. It's just the Dark Pulse, and with this we're going to be able to win this battle. Next up, we're going to have Animorphs against us in Elite. That is not going to be ideal, because, I mean, it's okay though. Like, it's not that it's going to be the worst matchup ever. We can take a hit here, we can take a fly, and I think actually we would be able to win this in the two-shade scenario, guaranteed on the way on how we play it here right now, because I have Wild Charge, which is going to one-shot them, guaranteed. Like, there's no doubt about it, and Animorphs doesn't have a lot of bulk to it. I'm still trying to get my Animorphs, by the way. I still need to get a few more raids in for that Pokemon. But yeah, as we'll see here, we're going to get still another Wild Charge off against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the shield again. And I would be able to reach another one, but I don't know what I really want to do here. Do I want to use shield or not? I fear that the opponent would swap out here afterwards though. And I go for the close combat and they go into the Zygarde, which is great because I was actually able to catch them off guard with that one. I should have just kept the energy, I guess. But I didn't really have a great swap there, so I don't know. Like, maybe I should have went into the Dialga just as a safety measure there, but we will be able to go for the farm down here. It's going to be Hyper Beam, we still survive and we can still go for the farm down, but we're only going to get one move off here, and so it's down now to what they have in the back. It's going to be Ho-Oh. I sadly don't deny the opponent's fast move, even though the opponent always can deny my fast moves, but my only way of really winning this one is if I can catch a move, and I want to catch a move here, but I played a bit too risky, and yeah, I was not able to tap in time. You saw me trying to tap there, but I was a bit too late. Like, this was not a game fault or anything like this. That was my fault. If I would have been able to catch the move here, I think I would have been kind of guaranteed able to win the battle. And that's kind of annoying because, yeah, I could have definitely won this one if I played a bit better. Needed to catch a bit earlier. But yeah, we can move on to the next opponent. Very neutrally here, Rhyperior in the lead is going to be okay for us. We're going to try our best to go for the close combat spam as, yeah, we're going to have here the close combat coming through, getting the shield. We're going to swap out into the Zamazenta, in comes the Primarina, and as said before, Primarina was actually a Pokemon I encountered quite often with this Legend team here, which is a bit annoying because we don't have the best answers towards this Pokemon. But close combat is going to come through. And I feel like it might be even better for me to go into the Dialga, even though they have the Charm variant of this Pokemon, because what I can do at least here is I can get a ton of energy, which allows us then to go for some Iron Heads against the opponent's Rhyperior, which allows us to get some shields from them. Sadly, I still get another move. I should let the move go through here at this point, I think. It is going to be the Hydro Cannon, which is great because, yeah, it's going to be a resisted hit. And they're going to go back very likely into... Wait, they're going to go into the Palkia. I'm just going to go straight for the hard-hitting move. I don't even care about it. I'm just going to go straight for the Roar of Time, knock them out straight away. In comes the Rhyperior. And now all of a sudden we have a chance here of winning this battle. But it's going to be a bit of a slim one. Rock Wrecker is coming through. I have to overfarm by a lot here. They go for another charge move. If this is a Rock Wrecker, this game is over. It is a Rock Wrecker and this game is over. It would have been over no matter what, because I don't get to the Iron Hand here anyway, so like there was nothing I could have done. But now we can move on to the final battle of the day, which is again a Primarina, and again it is going to be a bit of an awkward one. They're going to have Waterfall as a move as well. I should have just let them go for a charge move here. I should have just waited out a turn, to be fair, and not go for anything, because then I would have been either able to go for a back-to-back wild charge and get 2 shields. Or yeah, the opponent would have just been able to go for the charge move before I'm debuffed and I don't have to use a shield. But like this, I kind of misplayed this one quite a bit with that one, for sure. But they stay in somehow, and they decided to now go into the Melmetal, and that is interesting, because the opponent kind of gave me like 15 seconds there of turns, basically, which is like 15 seconds there, generally speaking, there, I think, in terms of the switch clock as well, which is going to be great. And I'm just going to call the bait here. I'm just going to call that this is not going to be a superpower, and it's just going to be a Rock Slide, which it is going to be the case. I can go for the Iron Head. And I'm well aware at this point that this is not going to be enough to knock them out, but it's going to allow us to swap out now and catch the move onto the Zacian, which is so important. It should have got a fast move through, by the way. That should have been definitely happening, because I went for a charge move, so I swapped out. So I should have got a fast move through. And let's see if this would have actually changed something. Yes, it would have. I would have been able to go for the wild charge there in time. And this is the thing as well. I would have had switch advantage. I would have not needed to take any damage on my Dialga anymore if the game just would work out. And I'm at a regional, like at EOIC actually, in not even a week at this point, like literally in a week at this point, kinda. And I don't have a team. I didn't do any practice towards it, even though I really wanted to, just because since I signed up to EOIC, the game state has been so bad that it just is not fun for me. Like, I just don't really know. Like, I don't think that I want to go and try to practice for something where I don't know if Leica is going to impact it at the end of the day. And like, that's a big thing as well for me. I hope that EOIC is going to work out for me, but I would have won this battle here, I think guaranteed basically, if it wasn't for the lag that I had there. And this is going to be it for this video. Sadly, there's going to be the case here that this is going to be how it ends. But I hope that Niantic finally gets their stuff together. I know I say that basically for like the last 5 years. Well, that's what it is. I will see you then. Bye bye.